Good morning and welcome to this week's Wednesday with Bpis. We're here at the Board of Education and we have Mindy Hawthorne. Many of you probably know her. She is the Director of Special Education. And we just want to draw a resource to your attention that we've told you about in the past. But now that we're getting to spring, it's been a while. Maybe it'll be a resource you forgot about and one you'd want to try. But it's a great resource for all teachers that are maybe having some difficulties with a student with some different types of behaviors. But especially in the special education realm and someone that you're considering maybe referring. So let's start right here. This is our web page, obviously. Hopefully many of you go there, bpis.com, and you'll click on Bpis. That's the free resource that we have.
Positive Behavior Intervention Supports.
Say that again.
Positive Behavior Intervention Supports.
Okay, so great. So I'm going to let Ms. Hawthorne just kind of go through, give you an example of what you can do. And honestly, while we're doing this, is I kind of ended up there last week sometime and reminded myself of what a great resource it really is, and it's very interesting. So hopefully it'll help some of you. Okay.
And I always feel like now's the time of year where it's cold outside, people have had to be inside for quite a while, and we start seeing behaviors amp up again after the Christmas break. So what I like about this is it has all different kinds of behaviors a student might have. So with your little ones, they might be name calling out of their seat. Your older ones, they're failing to return their work, or they might be disruptive. So what's cool about this is you can pick whatever topic you think you're dealing with. So like disruptive, that's a major one right there. So we click that, and then it asks, the student may speak out of turn, blurt out, make inappropriate or humorous comments at inappropriate times. So it gives you a full list of things that the student might be displaying. And so then you can either say, yes, my student is displaying this, or no. So if you click yes, then it's going to give you a whole list of interventions that you can try. Now, with interventions, it can't be a one and done thing. I hear that a lot of, well, I tried it and it didn't work after a day. So if you click down here, you can click and see all of Tier 1 interventions, but down here, it gives you a whole bunch of interventions. But if you go back, it's down here, I've tried Tier 1 for at least 6 months, take me to Tier 2. And remember, Tier 2 are your even more interventions, yes. And so what we always say too, 6 months is quite a while, but it can't be just 6 days. So at least try for 6 weeks before you say an intervention doesn't work. And it also has data tracking that you can use too to make sure that your intervention is valid and working.
Let's go back to the the bottom one. I've tried Tier 1. And so that just gives you some alternative.
There's behavior contracts, behavior intervention plans you can use. And no, those aren't the same ones that we use in Ed Plan, but they're still great resources to use. Peer tutoring, the praise game, it just teaches you different games you can play, different tools to give to the kids. And it even has some self-monitoring tools where you have the kid decide where they think their behavior is
at.
And
honestly, even if maybe you looked at all the Tier 1s and you didn't want to use those, go on to look at Tier 2.
Absolutely.
You may want to try these interventions. You don't have to do them in a certain order. It's just the way it's laid out.
Right.
As long as you're trying different things, and hopefully you'll find something that works for that child, hopefully.
And I like this too, the daily behavior form, because I'll hear a lot of times, well, a kid is acting up all day, every day. But once we actually go in and collect the data, it's right before music or right after lunch that they're showing the biggest behavior. So we need to pinpoint exactly where that behavior, why it's happening and when it's happening, and then it's easier to decide what intervention you want to use.
And still want you to understand, just because we're doing interventions, we're trying to find the root cause of the problem. That doesn't mean the child doesn't get disciplined, it doesn't get punishment, but we want to always go back to what is causing the issue. And hopefully this will help us find that.
Absolutely.
Since we're kind of on this topic, will you talk just a little bit about the process, because regular ed teachers sometimes don't always know the process for a student to be referred, and it takes a while for that to happen. It doesn't happen overnight. We try to tell parents that as well, but some of the regular classroom teachers.
Absolutely. So if you want to refer a kid, then you need to talk to one of our special education teachers. We have 23 special education teachers across the district, and they will give you a packet to fill out. And this packet asks basic information about the student and their grades, but also their attendance, their behaviors, past trauma that they've had. Because we can't just say, okay, we're going to test this kid. We need to know their background and know where they're coming from. If a student misses a whole bunch of school, then we can't always say that they have a learning disability, because we do have to rule out that lack of instruction and that they're not just struggling because they've missed a bunch of school. Also, we have a lot of kids who come and go in our community because of the Air Force or whatnot. And just because a kid qualifies in another state doesn't necessarily mean they qualify here for us. So we want to collect all our data and make a good informed decision before we say a student is in special education.
Okay, well, great. Thank you for helping us out. Just a couple things I'd like to share with you. Just a reminder, if you're interested in applying for a Trash to Treasures grant, make sure that you do that. That paperwork went out this month, and it's due in May. We'd love to give away lots of grants. So last year we had more applicants than we had money, and more applicants than we'd ever had before. So we'd like to give that away that last day of school at our last meeting. So everyone, please try to get those if you have something that you're interested in. And also had a great text today from Dusty Davis, our athletic director. On Monday night, our junior high boys went to Duncan to play basketball. The girls played here. And, you dread getting a phone call from a principal. It was actually an assistant principal, called our athletic director, and those are usually not good. But what she called to say was how well behaved and good our junior high boys basketball teams were, and our fans, and that our junior high boys helped clean up the gym and pick up trash. So those are great phone calls. Proud to be a Bulldog. Great job, coaches down there at the junior high that coaching those boys, and thank you to those boys and their parents that have raised good boys.
Absolutely.
And as always, may God continue to bless Altus Public Schools.